This is related to early childhood development, and I'll bring it back to that afterwards, but I'm going to look like I'm going just into agency for a moment because I'm really excited about this. This is something that's been playing with my brain for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if any of you have seen Robert Sapolsky. You can get him on YouTube. He's also on TED.com now. And it's just a 35-minute video, basically. It's the class day lecture from Stanford University. Apparently this is the day before they graduate, in the graduation ceremony. And he's a primatologist. He studies monkeys, baboons, apes, and people. We're primates too. And a neurologist, brain scientist, social critic. And that's not him. Sorry. That's him. It's a little bit dark. But basically what he's talking about, and I'm just going to, this is minute 26 in his presentation. He's talking about dopamine. And dopamine is the excitement, getting really excited, natural drug that your body produces when you get really excited about something, okay? And they do this with all kinds of primates. They have a task set up for them. They give them a signal, and they work on it, and they get a reward, and the dopamine shoots up. Okay, they get a banana or something. Okay, and they train them like this 3 or 4 times, and then an amazing thing happens. Okay, oops, that was the wrong one. An amazing thing happens after they've been trained. As soon as they see the task again, the signal that it's going to start, the dopamine shoots up at the very beginning. And Sapolsky says 2 things. One is they say, I know this task. I can do this. Okay? But he also says it's anticipation, what's anticipation, thank you. Anticipation of reward. Okay? And he kind of emphasizes the anticipation of reward more than what I would do, which is the signal meaning, I can do this. For me, this is the onset of the idea that I have agency. I can control this. I know how to do it. All right? And that's exciting. All right? That's really, really exciting. When you learn a new technique on the computer, when you learn some new words and you can actually use them, and then now you know you're going to do it, it's like, oh, I know how this works. And it's exciting. Then they did something else, and they made it so they only got it right 50% of the time. Okay? And the dopamine almost went off the chart. All right? When they could only get it right half the time. Why is that? Suddenly, it's not something just normal. Can I have a juggling ball? Thank you. Juggling 3 balls doesn't really excite me anymore because I can do it, okay? But give me 5 balls, and my dopamine shoots up because I can do it some of the time, but not all of the time, and I drop it. So it's only a 50-50 chance that it's going to go around for 3 or 4 times, and it's my challenge. And this is what flow is all about: being challenged, knowing you have some control. And you can interact with it, but there's this element of mystery. I'm not going to get it right every time, okay? And I have to strive. I have to push myself and my limits. And I'll be learning when I do that. He has another point where he says they tried 25% and 75% of success rate. The 25%, apparently, people were too frustrated. They were losing too often. 75% was too close to 100. I'm getting it right almost all the time, but it's not motivating because I get it most of the time. 50%, wow, I'm really in the zone of proximal development, perhaps. Okay, and it was really amazing. Well, another thing he said was that it's an amazing thing how distant humans can make that reward. Okay, we don't need the reward right away. That's one of the things that are unique about humans. We can anticipate the PhD down the road and work really, really hard for many years to get it. Okay? And it's fascinating. Really, really fascinating. So, anticipation of reward, or agentive and in control. I guess both of them are active, but my understanding probably comes that anticipation of reward is kind of extrinsic motivation more. Intrinsic motivation, I have control, I have some agency, and I like this, and I want to have more of it, and it's possible. And when it goes down to that 50%, I get into that flow state, all right? Michelangelo said, God grant that my desire will always exceed my accomplishments, okay? And we have different ways of saying that. In English, striving brings out the best in us, and desire, we want a desire to exceed our grasp, okay? And if you think about it, some of the most unhappy people apparently in the world are the very rich, who can have just about anything. They're not striving much anymore, and they're not very happy according to the scientific articles and things. So we need that striving. The last thing I wanted to do was to show you a quick case study of agency, basically. I had my freshmen this last year write their language learning histories, and then that was last spring, and in the fall they analyzed them and wrote reports in small groups, analyzing for motivational, demotivational factors. And then I told them we're going to send these reports to Mombusho, to the Ministry of Education, okay? And they got, whoa! And they really took it much more seriously, and they started writing much more diligently, and it was really interesting. And then we condensed all of the findings down into a short 2-minute video, okay? A YouTube video that you can look at. I'm not gonna tell them lies, reality.
Our English learning language histories. And the research showed that
learning English in Japan is not always easy.
Many junior high school and high school students in Japan
study mainly grammar for entrance exams
and end up not being able to use English.
after many years of studies.
This is the inconvenient truth. 혼내 non tatemae.
While most junior high school and high school teachers mean well,
And some of our teachers have been really great.
the truth is many teachers are force-feeding grammar. This is an inconvenient truth. 혼내 non tatemae.
A bit of grammar
At the point of need.
can be useful.
But too much is too much. It's boring.
We want to talk more.
Use English!
Talk to our classmates.
Sing songs!
Give presentations.
Write our own ideas.
Think seriously.
About improving our world.
In short,
Do things with language.
Not just listen to teachers.
talking Japanese.
When students speak English,
We still use grammar
We learn vocabulary.
in language learning.
Use it or lose it.
나라요리 나래요.
Asking may be a moment's embarrassment. Not asking is lifelong regret.
聞くは一時の恥、聞かぬは一生の恥。
We ask for change.
in English education in Japan,
For future generations, students want to use English more.
Less testing and grammar.
we think our teachers need a break from teaching to exams.
We think Mombusho could help.
By changing the exam systems,
Our exams are literally killing some of us. You know, guys, this may not work.
it's okay, we can accept failure.
But we cannot accept not trying.
We dare to hope for change.
Thanks for at least trying to improve education for future generations.
ありがとうございます。
For me, that was a display of agency on their own part. First of all, writing their language learning histories in the past and gaining agency through constructing what was happening to them and giving it meaning. Okay, and then analyzing it in small groups, building a community to try to figure out what was going on, and then actually doing a video like that I could just kind of feel them grow in agency, and it was amazing. Again, seeing yourself on video very often is a transformational thing, and if you can record your students doing that, do it. I think parents with their videos nowadays, everybody has videos, and it's something that can be done very, very easily, but we need to recruit them. And I think teachers need to think beyond just their own classroom. They need to think that each student has a social network out there that they could tap into in different ways, but we have to help them. Okay. Thank you very much. I better stop. The video time is over. Thank you.